I'm yielding the floor to Dr. Enebi. Okeme is a medical doctor with Federal Medical Center, Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm sure he'll do a bit of the introduction of himself before delving into Okola Kinekiaka and Meola Neo Megba.
So, Megba, Ibo Migala, Meola Negba, Udama, Unshupayo ai. So, our Ibo Gala Mangoka Kakini, Olafia Ola, Yotokole. Omishi Enebi, Dr. Enebi, Austin Okeme, my Gala Uche. Omishi Buangpa, Baba Mishankpa Eko, then Mama Misho Ibo de Kina. Omionu Goche Chi School, and Egala. Uchane Primary School, Mikwo de Kina, Anglican Primary School. Then Bilema transfer Baba Mitabejukolo. So Central School Omo Chepa. Takuloti Secondary School. Ubile Oloti ABU Zaria Ogbokuchi medical education ni there. So Ajo the Federal Medical Center, Ebute Meta Lagos, Omichi senior casualty officer mine. So kilo ugbo Olafia Angolawa. Nanyate ne kukare ofo todo ikowache lale budu me. Na angote ne kuka ola medical jargons ololon. Nate ne kuka aki ya easy kogbodu a follow. And so taki akola iboa and egala awa onugo kadefewe enchaka ki ya happen efewo ba ogbodu kade. It's a general problem. So do aneshegbiti ibodo ajere. And so you discover that a lot of people are coming down with all sorts of health complications, especially eki makaki silent killer. Lugbo iboigala kako ito sugar abi diabetes, then hypertension, and so ali kaki amogai, they are becoming too rampant all over the place now. And surprisingly, ugbe small Sentewa Academy Legacy, I've discovered that let's say 8 to 9 out of every 10 my gala kiwomo kiwa visitwa imani hypertension in diabetes chike, and so it's a big concern to us, and by the time we finish, you discover that many of these things are actually related to our way of life and our diet. And then also because of poor awareness, lack of education and knowledge, amenwi kidupeki ashe ka no lafia amola ka dejutola ashen, and it's also worrisome that Kukaigbele in one program me kashe that Ojilea kani moto, ani machine, ani generator a service ma. From time to time, enya check epong level room shenyome inyon, a changing. But our service only one, Aquane Odudu, Ale to color, you know, with all the running, the stress and everything. Amuda Bioni, Aolule. And then we continue like that. So, you know, at the end, we discovered that a lot of people are just having unnecessary complications from, diseases that are preventable. A lot of people are just having heart attack, sudden deaths, and all those things. So I will use this small opportunity to educate us on how to discover these things and then deal with them, and also how to prevent them. And so that way, we can now be able to pass this information across to our people at home, because their own problems are also dependent on ours. So I hope Megbomi, you know, Kuli Oji chat box, Chanki Oladuk Nakai, Kadoma follow, so that Kumache Naka Togbalo.
Yes, Agbe.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, just like I said, silent killers, see, a few of them are hypertension, diabetes, and all those things. Chunky, a man idea, I mean, we are happening, we won't be able to prevent them. But most of the time, the early signs of I'll just lump them together so that because of time to deal with it. You discover that unnecessarily, you know, ole shekpa, eki amene fuaka keo male, you know, ikoju dagbake dashi emi ekwane odudu ole sheda, you know, then most of the time, headache, oji awe, you know, edoe, amaka, yarule, maka ki palpitation, and then ekilubo diabetes by ito sugar kakai. You discover that, you know, frequency in urination could do where I mean, when you to be for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, you start going again. And then sometimes you discover that large volumes of urine, you know, are also passed. Excessive sweating and, you know, things like that. Despite the fact that you are losing weight, you know, you are just unnecessarily tired and, you know, sometimes unnecessarily angry and all those things. So what do you do? Anya chekola, you know, it is very, very, very important that we take time, depending on how necessary, because when you go to all these health centers, at least the ones close to you, our academy, the Federal Medical Center, don't mind encourage my gala do kuma meet me. And then I thank God for this program. And I believe that over time we will get to continue this forum. And then we'll have numbers that we can call. And so when we have health problems or other related problems, we can pass it across on this. And then we see how we can get across to help our people. So, but the first advice is that let us check ourselves. Let us take time, even on a weekend, go to a nearby health center, go to a pharmacy close to you and ask for your blood pressure to be checked, and then ask for your blood sugar. I mean, quick test they are available everywhere. And so if you do that, then you now even become inquisitive to start saying, result here, is it okay or not? If it's okay, fine, they tell you it's okay, then you are happy, and then you move on with life. And then subsequently you check again. Then you go to the next hospital available, or you go to the health centers and get more information on it. Because by the time we let these things to spend so much time in our system, by the time they start to show their signs, they have gone far in the system, and they may have started causing damages to our organs, especially the heart, the kidney, the lungs, the livers. And so sometimes we see a lot of people coming down with stroke, people coming down with heart attack, or many call kidney igala rather dialysis. And then it becomes a major burden to everybody, because Ogadu Konene, our army doctor, we say that you are either infected or affected. What do I mean? It's either ego in a family. It's either one person has it or the next person. But whether you have it or not, if your brother has it, it affects you. If your mother or any of your relatives, including Ibeku Maduni, if they have it, it affects you, because you spend time, you spend money, you spend emotions and everything trying to help or relate with those that have it. So it's a major burden. And so we must sit down and look for ways to increase the awareness amongst ourselves and then our people at home. Awareness is very, very important, because if we don't even know, if we don't know these signs, if we don't know what to do, then we can't even help our people at home. And so what are the things that we need to do generally to maintain our health? So like Akomayemi Ojonugwa Stephen Kai, first of all, stress is a major factor in our lives. So we must rest. Always find time. That is the first thing, and it is easy and cheap. You don't need to pay. All you need to do is get home, get somewhere, lie down and rest. Sleep. Sometimes, you may not necessarily sleep, but even by lying down and resting your head for some time, you discover that you feel better. So rest is a very, very key component of health. Also, we need to find some time to exercise. Exercise, they will tell you, I walk all over the place, my job, I'm always running up and down. That's not exercise. Exercise means you taking some time up in a day to say, let me take a walk, let me jog a little bit, so that you sweat. Even if it's 30 minutes, 1 hour, you don't need to do so much. You don't need to run out of energy. The moment you start feeling tired, you can just relax and stop. Even within the house, for those that can afford it, I'm on any gym, I'm on any treadmill and all those things. Just do something light every day, you know. So the second major component of health is our diet. So akama iboa igbele ibewa unyi ujelma manager ikole. There are many, mostly farmers and all those things. They just go to the farm, maushumaro, maje, you know, and all those things. Many of the foods were natural foods, alemu, oko, and the fruits. You know, but many of us now, our diet is westernized. Eluleshe meniko omishi pizza naje, any ki meat pie, any ki ice cream, you know, suya, ameonki, imashi, ujemwe waka, manewa, negalan. Many of us have adopted it as our diet. And then ogaki, imash ogaki dupe kibewa shekubin, amogak na kai that were not part of us has now become to be a mainstay of our health. Why? Because we have, neglected the kind of diet that our system, the African system, was adapted to, and we have taken over Okeme, and so their own diseases are now becoming our disease. And so you see that even when you travel abroad and all those things, many of the natural foods, and they're even more expensive than these exotic ones because they know the health value in it. So it's not something that we should rush in and take over from them. So apart from this, salt, omu, is like petrol to fire for high blood pressure, hypertension. So we need to reduce the level of salt intake in our diet. Iboka emu jeun duma ojitebu, mama mo omu adding, it will not be sweet in their mouth, and which is very, very wrong. It's hazardous to our diet. Also, sugar is like petrol to fire for people that are diabetics. So we need to also regulate the level of sugar in our diet. We need to avoid excessive fats. Cholesterol show amaka equal effect. You know, excessive cholesterol will contribute to all these diseases I'm talking about. So excessive fried foods, you know, burgers, meat pie, suya, and all those things, we should regulate them. So generally, our diet is in moderation. We should eat less quantities of food at a sitting. You know, early, you know, amaka. Oje, the level of amaka, the plate of food at a sitting. Somebody will load ojo a very big mountain and sit and finish it at one sitting. It's wrong. Meaning that we give our system too much to handle at a time, and then it fatigues easily. So, and it is also not true that makaki 3 square meals and all those things. Now, the teaching is that we can eat 4 to 5 times in a day in moderation, little quantity at a time. Just chunky, sure, a full loaf of bread, you cut it into half. And then you try to probably you give your system a little quantity at a time that it can handle. That way the system is balanced. and the organs do not have too much to handle at a time. Then vegetables, please. Fruits and vegetables, those natural things. Let us find a habit of going back to those things. They are very, very healthy, and they help our system to deal with all these things that we are talking about. So in summary, let me just say, please, let us exercise and rest. Let us live on a healthy food balancing by eating small quantities at a time. We try to supplement with fruits and vegetables. Then we should try as much as possible to check ourselves. Let us service ourselves so that we live longer. The way we service our machines, our generators, let us service ourselves. And then finally, for the drugs, I cannot go into that because ELE is actually for the doctors. But my advice is that whatever drugs that they've prescribed to you for those that they've discovered these things, please try to take them. Follow them strictly as according to the doctor's prescription. These silent killers we talk about, unfortunately, they are not like malaria, Becky typhoid, that chunky mamo ogudwe. You say you use it for 3 days, 5 days, when and then you leave your drugs. It's not like that. These drugs are meant to be taken for a period of time. Some people are on it for months. So let us not forget the fact that your doctors need to tell you, okay, these drugs are okay now, you need to stop them. Meaning they write those drugs for you. When they finish, the least you can do is go back to the doctor and tell the doctor that, look, I've run out of my drugs. What do I do? If he says, oh, it's fine, stop it, you are good, then that's okay. But don't stop those drugs on your own, because most times we don't stop them abruptly. Sometimes we reduce them, we reduce their doses, or sometimes we reduce the number of drugs. And so we gradually bring them down until you no longer need them. So please always follow your doctor's prescriptions. Don't stop those drugs by yourself, please. Now, this is a general thing. For our people at home, it's something that sometimes I feel like crying when I see the deplorable state of health and health facilities in Anegala. I've seen videos on Facebook, by Enebi, and I honestly, the one I saw of General Hospital Dekina made me cry, because that was where I was born. And it's so painful that over time, these facilities have progressively, deteriorated to such a state that, they are no longer manageable. So that's just one of it. And then I'm happy that we've talked about education. We've talked about other aspects. Let us also try to bring these things into the curriculum of our schools. Health awareness, so that some of these little things can come up, that we grow up with them, we learn these things and adopt them into our system. That way it becomes easier. Also, these health checks, most times, tackle Aloti school. I remember those days, even in primary school, they took us for health, certificate of medical fitness. In secondary schools, they were asking, in the universities, pre-employment physical examination and testing. Let us please, because there's so much corruption in Nigeria now and everything. They are first for our own good, not necessarily for the school or for the employment, for the offices and all those things. Because that is when some of us discover some of these problems. And then they are dealt with on time. But it's easy for some people to just go and pay one doctor somewhere, one quack nurse, and then forge a certificate of fitness, or you avoid it. So it's more of even a harm to you, because those are opportunities for you to pick up some of these illnesses early enough and start dealing with them. So let's not try to play smart and avoid them. We should actually do them. So, and finally, I will like to say, Omi, as a doctor and on my gala, I have never shied away from, identifying my people and extending a hand of fellowship and help to them, especially where I work. Uleti pharmacy, maybe on a doji phone, yakola igalaka. I'm happy to meet that person. I'm like, wow, igale, I speak the language. Let us communicate. Then when one line, okay, what's happening? Okay, this is my number. Okay, whenever you have a problem, come, So I'm very, very open, because Ubeka joy, Boka mami man, Amiaji, Bekibo, treat mine. So enemy, Uma Shabunem, and the same thing I want to advise every other person. Ama Shabneolan, Ena Shabnea. So please, let us try and help ourselves. Let us come out in every situation. And so I'm willing that connection do enegala do kane awe win now kade mi gbe komi deba. Any health problem related to whatever I can, please call me. Please call me. Number me will always be made available. So amaka their anchor programming is any number me, and I'm sure many other people that I know there. So please, if there is anything related to health, I'm always available to help and advise. Thank you so much for this opportunity on my Gala Oche Summit. I appreciate you all. May God help us and keep us in good health. Thank you so much.
Enough of that. So